Welcome back to the Nerdy Grill and welcome to a brand new video here on the channel. Now this is my Wales Comic Con vlog for 2026 and it was an absolutely fantastic day. Me and my fiance went down on the Sunday, so Sunday the 9th of August this year. We normally go on the Saturday, but there was like family stuff we had to do and we couldn't quite get round to going on the Saturday, so we decided to go on the Sunday instead, which was perfectly fine, which I will talk about the Sunday experience a lot more in terms of like my positives and negatives side of the video. But how this is going to work is, firstly, I'm going to play a little bit of like a slideshow for you, showing you all like different photos that I took around the Comic-Con, from stalls to, you know, set pieces that were put there, anything like that, some photos that I took with any celebrities, like selfie-wise. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come together. I'm going to go through the positives of the Comic-Con, any negatives I had with the Comic-Con, and then I'm going to show off the things that I got signed and the merchandise that I bought at the event. So sit back, relax, as I take you through my journey of Comic-Con Wales 2026 at the ICC. And that was my experience at Comic-Con Wales 2026. And in this part of the video, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over sort of my positives and my negatives from going on the Sunday in particular, as opposed to when I normally go on the Saturday. Now, obviously, yeah, like I said, I normally go on a Saturday to these conventions due to guests, due to panels, that sort of thing. But obviously some things got in the way and so I wasn't able to actually go. But that was okay because I didn't mind actually going then on the Sunday because the guests that I wanted to go and see were all still there. So let's start with the positives. We've always got to start on a high note. And to be fair, even when I say positives and negatives, I must admit there's very few negatives, if any negatives at all, for me personally. I know other people might have had some negative experiences, but at least on my end, I don't think there was anything that really disappointed me, left me frustrated or angry, so to speak. There is a couple of things, but nothing that ruined the whole experience for me. So we arrived at about 8:30. It was probably the earliest I think we've ever arrived at a Comic-Con convention. So we still had a good half an hour before the event even started. And what we noticed straight away, the difference was that there was just basically no one there. We were almost at the entire front of the actual queue, and looking around, it was quite nice. It was quite speedy. The bag checks were quite speedy. The staff were polite. They were checking up on you. They provided entertainment, like you saw in some of the pictures outside the convention. You'd have like Daleks and R2-D2 and Stormtroopers and stuff like that, all walking up and down, just providing you a little bit of entertainment and a little bit of a glimpse of what's to come on the inside. As you enter the main hall, you again have the giant Funko Pop stall, and they have all the screens which show you like the timings for the panels, for the photo opportunities, the map of the venue, which is all nice and clearly laid out, so it was pretty self-explanatory. You got people on the front desk offering you lanyards or posters or anything like that, which was quite nice. You got the main hall, which you saw lots of pictures from different stalls in the main hall. There was lots of stuff on offer. It felt like there was a lot less stalls this time. I don't know whether that's just me misremembering previous Comic-Cons. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But it just felt like there was a lot less. It felt like there was a lot more space, which obviously was due to the fact that I don't believe the Sunday was actually a sellout event. And obviously it's a lot quieter on a Sunday anyway, but it was a tons of free space. I generally do feel like there was less stalls, but I wasn't overly complaining about that because there was a large variety of stalls. Like normally when you go to these conventions, you just see an overabundance of, say, Funko Pop stalls, which there was only 2 main Funko Pop stalls. The one that you always see out the front, and then one that you always see just on the inside of the main hall. They were the 2 main Funko Pop stalls. You had a couple of Funkos here and there on other stalls, but they weren't like Funko Pop stalls. So that was quite nice. We had a larger variety of stuff, from lenticular prints, from D&D dice. You would have like hand-drawn stuff, you'd have knitted stuff, you'd have jewellery stalls, you'd have your collectible stalls like old-fashioned toys, you'd have your horror stalls for like horror merchandise, you'd have Doctor Who stalls for Doctor Who merchandise, there was book stalls, there was like ramen stalls, there was obviously different food stalls, like you had a cookie shop, you had a fudge shop, there was like an old-fashioned drinks and American candy style stall. There was so much on offer that it was quite nice and easy to look around, and the variety was nice for a change rather than Funko Pop, Funko Pop, Funko Pop, Funko Pop. So I quite enjoyed that. All the guests were then around the arena on the left-hand side, and they pretty much had like almost every guest there in the main hall. If you go upstairs, they did have a few more guests from like Supernatural and Buffy and things like that were also upstairs. But downstairs you had most of the guests. Like you had Peter Capaldi down there, the GTA trio were down there, Cameron Monaghan was down there. You had like William Hope and all down there, Billy West was down there, Tony Robinson was down there. There was a couple of the WWE stars were down there. They had quite a lot of the main stars down on the bottom floor, and then they had another floor with a couple of other stars from like Supernatural and Buffy and things like that upstairs. So it was quite nice and easy. On the outside, they didn't have as many like vehicles and things like that on the outside. Like you used to have like the Batmobile and things like that. They had like the Jurassic Park car, and they'd have like a WWE ring, so obviously they had a lot of wrestling stars there. They had then a merchandise truck out there with like more high-end merchandise, a lot of signed stuff, which was quite nice, and I went in there at the end of my experience. Didn't get anything from that stall, but it was quite nice to see. You had your generic food stalls, which we didn't end up getting any food from those stalls because there wasn't really an awful lot on offer, and at the time we sort of went at a silly time really. We went during the actual lunch period, so it was quite busy, well, the busiest we've ever seen it on that day. But yeah, so we didn't actually get anything there, but you had like choice of like baguettes or some hot food and some coffee, tea, that sort of thing, but we weren't really hungry, to be fair, at the time anyway. Then as you go upstairs on the escalators, they closed off the top floor, which I believe for the Saturday was for Noah, for Stranger Things, but that wasn't open on the Sunday. And you had the photo opportunity area, which had a couple more guests thrown in there. And the photo opportunities were was really, really smooth, really, really easy. Obviously, I'll talk about who I had photos with in the next section of the video, but they were really easy, handed you the tokens, and they were very, very quick. They gave you plenty of time, plenty of warning. They repeated, you know, last call for so-and-so, last call for so-and-so. They kept saying it time and time again, to the point where it actually got a little bit annoying, but I appreciated it to the degree of you knew you weren't going to miss out. I think they should, you know, install some like megaphones or something, because sometimes if it's on the busier days, I can imagine you could not really hear it as well. But I thought that was quite good, so plenty of warning. They were really kind, caring, you know, they were accommodating for you. So that I thought that was really, really good. So I never had any issues with any of the photo opportunities. They were all on time. Well, one star decided to turn up late, but I'll explain that a bit later. But yeah, it was brilliant, perfect, and very, very smooth. Same with the autographs as well. For the most part, there was one little nitpick that I did have, but I'll say that when I get to the autograph section. But there was one tiny little nitpick. Oh, no, maybe, yeah, no, I'll save it for the autograph section. But I will say that, yeah, one or two of the autographs, it wasn't really as I expected, and I didn't actually officially get every autograph that I wanted to, but like I said, I'll explain that a bit later. But yeah, the auditorium as well, we only went for one talk, which that is my one major negative, I think, for the Sunday, is the fact that probably about 80% of the talks that I wanted to go to was the Saturday. So I think like they could have maybe spaced them out a little bit, especially those who were there on the Saturday and the Sunday in terms of guests. Like I wanted to go and see the Peter Capaldi talk, the Cameron Monaghan talk, and the GTA talk, but all three of those were on the Saturday. None of them were on the Sunday. I think you could have at least pushed one of them to the Sunday, whether it was Peter, Cameron, or the GTA trio. I just feel like, yeah, just for those who obviously can't go on the Saturday, it was a bit gutting, because I really would have loved to have seen those. So hopefully if they go up online, I'll check those out. But I did want to go to see those live, so that was a little bit gutting for me. But I think other than that, and a little bit of a nitpick I have with one of the autographs, I think overall, I really enjoyed the Sunday. It was very, very calm, very, very chill. We didn't end up going in cosplay in the end. I just wore, as you might see, you'll see on like the thumbnail, and you'll see on some of the photographs later, I just wore my 4th Doctor t-shirt and 4th Doctor scarf. Because it was a little bit warm, especially if you stood in the sun. It got really, really baking, and I think it was due to get to like 28, 29 degrees. So we decided not to go in cosplay, which felt a lot more relaxing. I do want to go in cosplay again, and I will, don't worry. But it was a lot more relaxing to not go in cosplay. So I did appreciate and did like that a bit. But yeah, so I think overall it was a really, really good experience. I like the calm, the more chiller atmosphere. There was a lot more space to move around, you know, and all the staff were polite, were helpful, and made everything quite smooth transitions through talks, through photos, and through autograph opportunities. So that was stunning. So I'd probably give the event like an 8.5 or a 9 out of 10 in terms of helpfulness for me. I know some people might have different experiences, but I did feel like it was very, very good, and they were very, very accommodating to me when I needed them to be. So that was fantastic. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a couple of bits, because I want to now go through the photos, the autographs, and I will then also talk about the merchandise that I purchased at the event. So I will be right back. Okay then, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show off my autographs, and I'm going to go over the photos as well from the convention, and then I'll show you a little bit of what I bought at the convention. So the first guest that we decided to meet and get autographs for and photos, etc., was the main reason that I went to the convention, and that is, of course, to meet good old Peter Capaldi, which Peter Capaldi was absolutely lovely. His line was the longest. We were there about 45 minutes, but he was literally talking to everyone in detail. There was no rushed experiences. You could ask him questions, you could have a good laugh with him, and he was proper paying attention. So he was absolutely amazing. We got a selfie with him outside the TARDIS, multiple selfies actually, which I thought was really, really nice, and it was great to have the TARDIS prop there to do the selfies with. But obviously we then also had a professional photo shoot with Peter Capaldi, where I brought with me my sonic screwdrivers so that me, my fiance, and also Peter could hold the sonic screwdriver for the photo. So I thought that was really, really nice. And with me, I brought 2 steelbooks. I originally was only going to get one steelbook signed. If you saw my previous video, like my discussion video, I said I was going to get the season 10 steelbook signed from Peter Capaldi, which I did actually do so. So this is my Season 10 Steelbook, which is now signed by Peter Capaldi. And for a lot of the guests, I decided to write down like a quote that I would like them to say, something that meant something to me or was relevant to that particular series. So for Peter, he wrote, I do what I do because it's right. He put his signature and then Doctor ? Doctor Who. So I thought that was really, really nice because I do love that quote from The Doctor Falls. I think it is really, really good and is one of my favourite stories from this particular season. So that was really, really nice to get Season 10 signed by Peter Capaldi. But not only did I get a Season 10 signed, I thought, why not? Let's push the boat out. And I also got my Season 8 Steelbook signed by Peter Capaldi as well. Now, I've got plenty of signatures on my Season 8 Steelbook. Like at a previous Comic-Con, I got Catherine Stewart, who plays Jenny Flint, to sign the Steelbook. And then from Comic-Con Wales last year, I had Michelle Gomez sign the Steelbook as well. But now, obviously, I have got Peter Capaldi to sign this as well. And his quote for Season 8 is from Robots of Sherwood. I am the Doctor, and this is my spoon. Because I thought that was just a hilarious quote to have on this particular Steelbook from Season 8. It's one of my favourite scenes from that particular episode as well. So I got my Season 8 Steelbook signed and my Season 10 Steelbook signed from Peter. So 2 of my seasons have now been signed by Peter Capaldi. So that was really, really nice. And it was lovely to meet you, Peter, and lovely to get a photograph with you as well. Then we decided, because it was just before lunchtime that we got that autograph, and there was no queue at the time. And I did mention in the previous video, if there was time, I would like to also meet Tony Robinson, who does Baldrick in Blackadder, and is fantastic as Baldrick in Blackadder. And we also went to his talk as well, so we got to see a lot of Tony. We didn't get a selfie or a photo with him, but I did get him to sign my Blackadder box set. So in the last convention I went to, I got Brian Blessed to sign it for King Richard, and now I have also got Tony Robinson to sign it as Baldrick. So I've got both Baldrick signature and also King Richard from the first season of Blackadder. It would be really nice to get Rowan Atkinson to get a signature on this, but I don't know if that'll ever happen, if I'm honest. But at least I've got Baldrick, and it was really, really lovely to meet him, and he was so funny in the talk as well, like really, really funny. Then we literally got this one like literally 2 minutes before he went to lunch, bless him. We met Cameron Monaghan. We did get a selfie with Cameron Monaghan as well, for those who don't know. I mean, I know Cameron in particular from, obviously, playing Jerome / Jeremiah Valenska / the Joker in Gotham, the TV series Gotham, which I love the TV series Gotham. Last year we met Sean Pertwee at the convention, who plays Alfred Pennyworth, which he was lovely, and Cameron was lovely as well. We asked him a couple of questions, had the selfie, and then I got him to sign my box set, where he did sign it with a quote, "Behold, the true face of sanity," where he put his signature and then put J for Joker, Jeremiah, and Jerome, which I thought was really nice. That's the signature from Alfred before. So now I've got Cameron Monaghan's signature on my box set. The only one I need now to complete the trio of my favourite characters is the Riddler, so maybe one day. But if I saw any of the other cast, I would obviously get them to sign it. So that was really, really nice to get his signature and to get a selfie with him. But not only did we get the selfie with Cameron, we also got a professional photo shoot as well, which was really, really nice. And again, such a lovely experience, such a pleasant, lovely guy. So thank you, Cameron, that was amazing. And then the final signature that I got for the day, which was actually the first photo that we got for the day, so I'll talk about that first. The first photo we got of the day was the GTA Trio photo shoot, which was absolutely hilarious. Standing in that queue line for the GTA Trio was amazing. Just listening to the conversations going on behind the curtain between Ned, Sean, and Stephen was amazing. Stephen in particular was hilarious. Every time that a photo was done, he wasn't letting the staff do it. He was like, next! He was literally like in command at all times. It was hilarious. Loved that photo shoot. Had an amazing picture. We all flipped the bird off to the camera, which was really, really nice. Ned called me a geek for wearing my Doctor Who scarf, saying I'm one of them kind of geeks. It was just hilarious. I loved it every second. They were lovely guys as well, brilliant. And obviously, if you saw the footage earlier, there was a scene where the GTA Trio were on the floor with this little dinosaur going around, and Stephen got the dinosaur to sit on a little toy penis. It was honestly absolutely wild. But I did get only one signature from the trio because, like, unfortunately, there was a different system going on for them, and it was a bit more expensive, and it got a bit complicated. So I decided to just get one of the signatures, and the one I chose was I decided to get Stephen Ogg, who plays the character of Trevor, to sign my GTA 5 video game cover, which was really, really nice. Lovely guy, to be fair. Really, really, really enjoyed getting his signature. Really enjoyed the GTA trio photo shoot. So I'm glad I got to meet them in some way, some capacity. But thank you, Stephen / Trevor, for signing my copy of GTA 5. And that was all the signatures that I picked up during the day. So GTA 5, Gotham, Blackadder, and 2 of my Doctor Who steelbooks. Now, I didn't actually pick up an awful lot of merchandise at the event, but I did do a little bit of shopping. You know, for me, I can't help myself. So I got 4 items from the convention, 2 Funko Pops, a figure, and actually some trading cards. So I'm going to start with the Doctor Who merchandise that I picked up, because there was 2 different Doctor Who stalls. And at the stalls, I picked up one figure, and it was quite a rare figure. And even the guy behind the counter said, "Oh, you're definitely a collector. Oh, you've got a bit of a rarer one here." And the figure I picked up was the Clockwork Man, the rare, like, purple pinkish coat Clockwork Man, which is part of the Collect and Build Gelf range. And I believe in the line of the Collect and Build Gelf range, this is either the second rarest or the rarest of the lot, which was really, really nice. So I had to have that. I grabbed it, I spotted it immediately. I even did a fact check to make sure this was the actual one, and yeah, it is the one. So I'm like really happy to have that into my collection now of figures. But also the other Doctor Who thing I bought back in the day, and they've obviously brought it back recently, I loved the Doctor Who card range, in particular Battles in Time. I thought it was fantastic, and I was putting off getting it, but I decided, why not? And now I actually want to continue my card collection again, and I might start buying them and get a file and so on. But I decided to pick up the Doctor Who Battles in Time special reintroduction collector's set. It is already opened. If it looks a little bit wonky, it's because I've already unboxed it and already checked the contents within, but it's really nice to have that. It comes with 80 cards in total, 72 from the original range, just like in new foiling and a bit more shiny, a bit more up to date. And then you get 8 special cards, like all the future Doctors, apart from 14, but I know 14 does have a card, and a couple of villains from over the years since. But it's really nice, and it's a mixture of classic Who and modern Who, so I thought that was really, really nice. So I probably will start collecting the Doctor Who card range again. And then the final things I picked up was I went obviously to the Funko Pop stall, and I picked up 2 Funko Pops. And I picked up Funko Pops. There wasn't loads that I actually wanted to get, but there was a range that I wanted to start, and I'd been asked if I could start it. And so I thought, why not? And they were 2 special edition ones, so I thought, yep, they're really, really interesting. That is from the Hazbin Hotel range, yes. Finally got some Hazbin Hotel Funko Pops. So the first one that I picked up was Charlie in demon form, which is a Chase Hazbin Hotel Funko Pop. So I thought that would be really, really nice. They did have regular Charlie, but I thought, as you can see here, they had all the ones that's on the back there that you can see. But I thought, rather than get normal Charlie, because this is a little bit more unique, I thought, let's get Charlie in demon form. So I've got Charlie in demon form, especially since I've got regular Charlie on both like a statue and on U2s. So Charlie in demon form is the first Hazbin Hotel Funko I picked up there. And then I did pick up one more Hazbin Hotel Funko. I thought, to go with Charlie, I will get Alistair. I did get Alistair. There was 2 forms of Alistair. There was regular Alistair, or there was this glittery form of Alistair as well, where basically any bit that's in red, his hair, his coat, his little stick, you know, all of it is just in glitter, and I thought that was really, really nice. So I've got Alistair, and I have got Charlie Morningstar on Hazbin Hotel Funko Pop. So my Hazbin Hotel Funko Pop collection has now officially begun, so I will obviously get some more in the future. But that is all I picked up from the Comic-Con, and that is my experience from Comic-Con Wales 2026. It was absolutely lovely going to that event. It was a lot more calmer, lots easier. The day never felt difficult. So thank you, Monopoly, for that event, and I will hopefully be returning to that event in 2027. I've got a few more conventions coming up in the future, in particular Weston-super-Mare Comic-Con in winter I'm planning on going to, and next year I am planning on travelling to Manchester to go to, I've already booked the tickets for this, to go for the Love of Time and Space, a Doctor Who convention, to hopefully meet a ton of Doctor Who stars and get a ton more things signed. So hopefully I'll see a lot of people there. But that is going to be it for my vlog for Comic-Con Wales 2026. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it by giving it a thumbs up and comment down below your thoughts. And did you attend that event? And what did you think? And who did you see? And subscribe if you are new. But for now, this is the Nerdy Grail signing off. I hope you've had an amazing day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now, everyone.